Hello, today we are going to talk about some interesting facts about Mongolia. First of all, let's start with Mongolian diet trends. Mongolians have become more aware of what they eat and how it might affect their health. Concerns about the safety of the food supply are on the rise, and the increase in nutritional awareness has led to an increase in vegetarian, organic, and health food options in the supermarkets. But are Mongolians practicing what they preach? A closer look at Mongolian dietary trends reveals that part of the Mongolian diet are still lacking in nutritional quality, despite consumer demand for healthier options. In this video, we will showcase a number of possible solutions that Mongolians can make in their lives to improve their eating habits. That sounds really interesting, right? We really need some possible solutions. Due to climatic factors and traditional nomadic lifestyle, Mongolian people generally eat meat, fat, and dairy products but less vegetables or fruit. Traditionally, Mongolians have eaten meat in the winter, then meat and dairy in the summer. The Mongolian diet is something of an enigma to this world. The harsh climate and nomadic lifestyle means that many rural Mongolians still live on a diet consisting mainly of animal proteins and fat. In a world where plant-based diets are in a thing, in Mongolia meat rules supreme, not just any meat either. Mongolia has one of the lowest population densities on the planet, and those who still live the nomadic lifestyle move their animals regularly. Mongolia probably has the most organic free-range meat on the planet. Mongolians have lived this way for thousands of years. But so, what's wrong with the Mongolian diet? Research indicates a high prevalence of key dietary indications and obesity among Mongolian adults. However, Mongolian cuisine is introducing a modern balanced diet, which is making it a healthy alternative to other cuisines. Modern Mongolian food has so much to offer. Even if you're vegetarian, you still have plenty of options.
Wow, that's surprising. That means even if you are not vegetarian, Mongolians should be eating more fruits and non-tuberous vegetables. Most people believe that health is very important, and because of this, many are trying to eat in a healthier way. That said, meat and dairy products are important sources of protein, which contain 20 essential amino acids, some vitamins, and minerals. But it is not the best combination of variety of foods, such as fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, that provide a source of all the nutrients a person needs to live a healthy life. So we need to better educate the populations about healthy food, create a healthy food demand, and preserve the rich culture and traditions of Mongolian cuisine. This will help reform the Mongolian national cuisine with more nutritious foods and wide selection to increase the variety of food.
Wow, that's amazing! Making a diet plan and diaries has also become a trend in Mongolia. Traditionally, we always thought this kind of plan and management was only necessary and exclusive for athletes. However, the more we researched about our food, the more we realized having personal plans for diets are necessary for leading a healthy life, even for the average person. Many people have already started determining what their usual nutrients intake should be and started answering these questions. Which foods will keep your diet nutritionally adequate? Should you eat just anything when you are hungry? Keeping a diet in a control helps you by having nutrient-dense meals at your fingertip, which also saves time and money.
I really didn't expect that. Planning the meal makes our life more healthier, especially for health diseases. If you asked me what my favorite Mongolian food is, I would probably say tsuven. But if you asked me what's my favorite overall food, I probably wouldn't say tsuven. The point is, I don't hate Mongolian foods. I will still go to my favorite restaurant to eat jantatseven, but it isn't the ideal food for keeping people healthy. People started to realize that our foods lead to various diseases, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, or complications of type 2 diabetes due to consuming heavy calorie, protein, saturated fat, and not consuming enough vitamin and minerals. I was happy to find out there was 15% increase in total Mongolians doing exercises. But I would like our people, our government, to realize diet is just as important as exercises, if not more, that we should start encouraging each other to try out more fruit, vegetable, grain, fishes, anything that is not just protein and calorie, so that we can live longer and healthier life.
That's true. With the improvement of life conditions, the structure of diet is also changed correspondingly. The proportion of cereal food and vegetable was much increased. To stay healthy, we need to eat variety of foods from fruits, vegetables and starchy foods, milk, dairy products, fish, eggs, beans and other non-dairy sources of protein. Whole grain foods have fiber, protein and B vitamins. Choose whole grain options instead of refined grains like white bread and pasta. Limit highly processed foods which are changed from the original food source and have many added ingredients. And water supports health and promotes hydration without adding calories. A healthy diet can help lower your risk of heart disease and other.
Wow, that was so informative, right? Okay, now let's go to the another topic about application and hiring processes for a job in Mongolia. One of the biggest components of your transition to independent adult life is the school to work one. Whether you're getting a job straight after high school or going to college first, finding your first job is an important step on the road to independence. Getting a job that you are good at, that you enjoy, and that pays your bills can help you become mature, happy, and independent adults. However, finding that job can take a lot of work. This model is intended to familiarize you with different ways of finding and applying for jobs that interests you, and to show you the ways to improve your chances of getting hired. When you're looking for a job right now or just trying to plan ahead, this model will give you an understanding of a job application processes and some helpful advice and resources for navigating your job research. Keep in mind, however, that the specific details of the hiring processes are unique to each company.
That reminds me what a hiring process really is. It probably means finding, selecting, and hiring new employees to a company. The process has generally three key segments that are planning, recruitment, and employee selection. I have some idea and expectations about the application and hiring process based on hearing from others, even though I have never been an employer or an employee. In my opinion, application and hiring process must be hard for both sides. The process requires strategic and pragmatic thinking while staying humane. There are certain steps to follow to make it successful. An efficient and effective hiring process is a step-by-step process for hiring a new employee, which is an organization or company that is looking for employees, identify its talent needs, recruits from its talent pool, and eventually hires the most qualified candidates. As previous speaker said before, most companies have their own hiring processes based on industry, organization's capability, and their value. Some resources say that there are 15 steps of the hiring process. Those are to identify the hiring need, devise a recruitment plan, write a job description, advertise the position, recruit the position, review applications, phone interview or initial screening, interviews, applicant assessment, background check, decision, reference check, job offer, hiring, and onboarding.
Oh, before I forget, the hiring process from employers is complex too. Recruitment is a long and compound process that includes finding, comparing, recruiting, and hiring. The person who does all this is usually a recruitment manager or human resources officer in Mongolia. The recruitment process is the process of hiring the most suitable candidate for the job from a large number of potential job seekers. Therefore, most employers need a recruitment strategy. An effective recruitment strategy selects the best people who can contribute to the success of the organization. On the other hand, failure to develop and implement this strategy can have long-term negative effects on the organization, so you need to be very careful when hiring employees. First of all, you need to determine who you want to hire or what skills you are looking for. Secondly, the information about the workplace can be shared on the organization's website or public websites and on its bulletin boards. This method is inexpensive and allows you to attract the right person through managers who are well versed in the organization's goals and vision. Also, one of the most common forms is that the organization regularly receives job applications. Additionally, people who have an understanding of the Western job recruitment process may never seem to come to terms with the way Mongolians recruit for jobs. And in one word, each company selects its employees in different ways.
By the way, I have noticed several links recruiters do in Mongolia. First of all, the job application form is unnecessarily long and requests information that don't give any clear insight on the ability of the applicants. Companies want world-class employees, but belittle the ones who have fulfilled their higher education abroad. Instead of negotiating a fair price that both parties can agree upon taking into consideration the job applicants' prior skills and experience, executives start to pinpoint real and unreal weaknesses found in the applicants. If the applicant is fresh out of college, executives argue that the applicant has no real experience. This recruitment process is a reminder of our communist history. I hope that the job recruitment process in Mongolia will soon meet international industry standards.
As has been said, getting a job is a weighty step towards your future, and there are notable things for you to consider as an employee, such as future growth, salary, working hours, etc. Keep in mind that these steps are not easy for everyone, including employees. We also try to reflect how the process can be innovated to become more convenient for both sides, and it is proper for both sides to realize each other's struggle and work on it. Employers will need to work on making the process more smarter and conventional for employees. On the other hand, employees will need to adapt to the changing process of hiring and, most importantly, making their voices heard to the employers so they can improve the process more accurately. Cultural difference in the hiring process is a challenge too. With what we said on the previous topic, Mongolians tend to have difficulty in changing their long-used traditional methods. Even though there are many organizations trying to improve their method, it is certain that we are not all keeping up with the technology and more smarter methods. Our youths are voicing opinions about this matter and saying whoever has the will to improve, innovate their methods will be the one to hire us. All in all, both sides agree that it is not a quick process and cooperation is essential to creating more perceptive method for the process to become accurate and successful.
Wow, did you guys get a knowledge about hiring processes in Mongolia? Guys, yes, and now I want to tell you guys some interesting facts that are meaningful to Mongolians. That reminds me the white and black banners in Mongolia. I want to talk about the white banner discovery made in Mongolia firstly. In the 13th century, Chinggis Khan established the Great Mongolian state and initiated the nine white banners as a symbol of ceremony. Mongolia's nine white banners, or Yusung was composed of nine flagpoles decorated with white horse tails hair hanging from around her face with a flame or fork-like shape on the top. The nine white banners was a peacetime emblem used exclusively by the Mongol Khans in front of the earth. Mongolian people have been honoring the banners ever since. The central banner was larger in size than the other and placed in the center of the other eight. And the banners are cleaned only with rainwater because ancient Mongolians used it to pray to the sky and believed that water is clean and pure. The banners are usually stored in the third floor of the government house, but every year they are carried out to the central stadium for a national festival. Also, there is a meaningful black banner in Mongolia.
Oh, speaking of Mongolian banners, especially the white one, I know a bit about the black banner. Did you know that the black banner was the Han's battlefield banner? In Mongolia, we call it Durunghul Tartuk, in other words, four base black banners. It is standing for the power of the everlasting blue heaven, which can concentrate and mobilize the spirit and power of all Mongolians to defeat their enemies at any time in all directions. It was carried by Mongolian armies on the march to warn others that they are fighting and rally bearers to it as they conquered in China, Central Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and Japan. The banner is made of black horse's tail and flown in the same fashion. Folk stories mention that the black banner would be raised when the Chinggis Khan was at war. According to the illustrated Japanese chronicle Moko Shura Ekotoba, the banner of the Mongolian Young fleet that invaded Japan was black. To give you some historical background and folk story of the flag, when Chinggis Khan was defeated in a battle and asked for help from the eternal blue sky, the black banner came down to him. Since that time, the Han never lost to enemies. I should mention it wasn't only standing for battle, it was also standing for the calm, the commotion, loss, and pain. Mongolians believe that the first time it was worshipped by Chinggis Khan was in the year 1202. Carried first was in the year 1204. The modern Mongolian black banners are kept in the Ministry of Defense. Before I forget, I have to say there is a tradition to worship it 3 times in every first and third day of a lunisolar calendars every lunar month. 14th day of July, which is during Mongolian traditional festival Nadam, and once in 13 years, which is Dragon Year.
Yeah, I heard about the white and black banners too. The banners were first founded by the Mongol Empire, and since then, Ottoman Empire has used it in the 17th century, and later on it was also adopted by Slavic cavalry. I think the banners represent a deep meaning and shows that everyone who lives under the sky, there is time to celebrate and be in peace, but also there are times you have to face challenges and fight them. Of course, it is a traditional symbol, but we do see this during our celebrations, and imagine a child asks, why do we put these banners here? I feel like as I become an adult, it has become difficult to pass on some important life lessons to the younger generation. So it will be a perfect opportunity to let them know. The non-white banners were exclusively used by Hans to represent that we are at the time of peace, which means we are protected and safe. However, the black banners represent that there is a threat and the Mongolian army is present. It makes me glad that most of the world has agreed on world peace and avoided making war with each other, but then the countries are so interdependent on each other. When one link breaks, the whole world gets affected by it. Anyway, it is interesting how the banners affect people, friend or foe. If I was living in the 13th century and saw the black banner, I would be terrified. Also, in ancient sources, the white banners were worshipped in the spring and the black banners in winter. That was the different sides of these two banners. Speaking of which, I remember someone telling me the one who wins in the mental warfare always wins.
Wow, that's interesting. Do you know about similar sides of these banners? They both associated everlasting heavenly blue sky, and in this way Genghis Khan entrusted the destiny of his people and country to the heavens and the earth. Today these banners of Genghis Khan's charisma, objects of worship and symbols of unity of the Mongolian nation. The white banner is made of wild horsetails hair, as well as black banner made by black horsetails hair. The usage of the horsetail is symbolic because horses were central to the Mongols' livelihood. The main symbol of both banners is to stand for power.
Well, we got wide information about one of the significant discoveries, which is white and black banners in Mongolia. Archaeological excavation in Mongolia have shown that steppe nomads have worshipped the banners which were made with horses' tails since Bronze Age. The white banner is utilized by the Mongolian State Honor Guard, and it is the final on civil security flagpoles. That means the white banner symbolizes eternal flourishing, and three flames symbolize the past, the present, and the future. Whereas the black banner is used by Mongolian armed forces as the final on military flagpoles. The black banner was the battlefield banner of the Mongol army, representing the Strait of Munkhuk-Tingir, which could focus and mobilize the spirit and power of all Mongols to destroy their adversaries in all directions at any moment. Also, after the ascension of Genghis Khan, the Mongols believed that his soul lived in the black coat of arms. For this reason, the ritual of worshipping the black flag is widespread among Mongolia. Isn't that interesting? Finally, keep in mind, knowing the meaning of symbolism of white and black banners will help you understand its value, Mongolian history, and culture.